All right, good day, America. Kevin Newton here with Honest Abe Roofing, America's favorite roofer. Today, we are looking at store-bought leaf guards for your guttering and which one may be the best for you to install. I'm going to do the work for you today and show you what your options are and the pros and cons of each one. So here we go. Let's look at the first one we got. This first one we see when we come to the big box retailer is this solid plastic leaf guard. As you can see here, it keeps the gutter totally protected from anything getting inside of it. The water goes over the top, comes around the side, and it copes right down through these slots. That way the water goes in, but all the big things stay out. Your next choice would be this, well, what would you call this? This plastic screen that you would roll out and lay down the guttering. And I'll show you how to install this in a moment, and we'll talk about the pros and cons of each one of these. Your next choice you're going to have is similar to that roll, is a metal painted black screen that does a very similar thing as a solid piece does. Locks into the gutter, keeps the big things out, allows the water to go in. Another choice you see when it comes to the big box retail store is a big piece of foam. It's like a giant sponge. It's going to soak up that water, sits down inside the guttering, keeps the big stuff out. Your next choice you may see, ones that we utilize a lot at our company, is a solid steel painted on both sides, perforated, allows the water and ice, snow to melt and go right through, keeps all the big things out. I'll show you how to install these safely and securely using the proper tools and supplies. You'll need, for some of these, an impact or a screw gun with a 1/4 inch drive, 1/4 inch zip screws, and probably a handy pair of snips to cut some of these down to size to fit into your guttering. And don't forget ladder safety. All right, so we saw our gutter guards. The next thing is to make sure our ladder is going to be in the right spot where we can reach the gutter safely, and the ladder itself will be nice and solid somewhere on the property. So if you're like my wife, and I bet you may have one as well, they have all their flowers and landscaping right next to the house, which makes it about virtually impossible to do anything without hurting something. So make sure when you put your ladder in place, set these legs down somewhere nice and solid without breaking your wife's flowers. And here, luckily, this part of the house that we're at has some landscaping. As you can see, some leaves, but also some concrete. So my rear legs here are nice and solid. I have a nice sturdy foundation for my ladder. As you can see, we're using a 10-foot step ladder today, and the eave here is about 12 feet tall. So I can get right up to it, be able to reach the gutters nice and safe. So once again, make sure your ladder is nice and secure, not wobbly. If you do have someone else with you, maybe a good idea to have them hold the ladder for you. So there's 3 ways you can clean your guttering. You can do it this way. Oh my, that's fun. Nice and slowly, put it in the bucket. All that yucky stuff right in there, which keeps the wife really happy. You can do it the way I do it sometimes. If you want to get your wife's bad side, this always does the trick. Yeah, just grab this and throw it right in her landscaping. They'll hate you all night long. If you really want to make them mad, try this. Okay, so this is the best way to do this. Keep your wife happy, get all the leaves, all the trash in the bucket. When your bucket's full or too heavy for you, go dump it and start over again. After this, the best thing to do, you get all the big stuff out of the guttering. Like this gutter here that we're working on has a lot of small debris, compost, broken down leaves and twigs and sticks, and even the granules, as you can see from this roof, is a little older, are wore off and down the guttering. So if you're gonna put new gutter guards on for the first time, might be a good idea to go ahead and hose all this out with the garden hose. Get it all nice and clean, then install your gutter guards. We're going to do that next. So the first thing we're going to try is our easy peasy, inexpensive, rolled out plastic gutter screen. So I'll install this and we'll talk about it as we do that. First, we're just going to roll it out, get it started in. Roll it out a little ways, as far as you can reach. Now this gutter here that we're working on is about 18 feet long. It's about 20 feet in this roll, and as I can reach, I'll stop, and I'll tuck it in place as we go down the gutter. Taking my time, I'm in no hurry here. Don't want to fall or push too hard against the roof, cause my ladder to tip or anything. I'm gonna put this in place, kind of lock this down. And I'm not sure about you, but I'm not real confident in this product thus far. It is nice and handy though. I can just roll it out and stick it in there. Now, if you don't know this, you can see I'm wearing gloves. Number one, keep my hands clean. But number two, it's a little cold out today. We're here in the Midwest in America, and it's fall and it gets a little nippy. Now, what happens next after fall? Winter. That's right, good job. Snow's gonna fall. It's gonna be on this roof for maybe a month or two. As it melts and piles up, I'm not sure about you, but this plastic mesh probably won't make it through the wintertime. It's a good chance when the snow pushes down, so is this. Guess what's gonna happen next spring, next summer, next fall? When the leaves fall again, I'm guessing that our leaf guard here, this roll of plastic, may not do the job. It may not last a winter in our area. Now this might be an okay product somewhere where we don't get a lot of snow or ice, but I'm afraid in this environment, this won't work. So if it's up to me as a professional, I would not recommend this product. Let's see what's next. Our next one is our foam-filled sponge leaf guard, which I hope to keep all the big stuff out. Let's see how it works and see how we can install it. Should be pretty easy. From what I understand from the instructions, you just set it in and you work it in place. Now our gutters here have a gutter strap on them, and currently I am pulling this sponge underneath the gutter strap, which keeps the gutter attached to the house. I'm just gonna work it in place. Careful not to push myself off the ladder. And now I'm gonna pull it back down in place underneath the gutter straps. Can you see that? Looks great. It's not decent fit and nice and in place. Let's put some water on it and see how it works. Okay, so we ran some water on the roof. The water ran down, it ran right through the leaf guard, the sponge product we put in. And of course, as you can see, some more leaves have fallen and they're sitting on top of the gutter now like a shelf. This will probably happen until you get a heavy rain and it washes it off. Unfortunately, one of the downfalls I would see with the sponge is it creates quite a bit of a divot here where leaves can just kind of sit inside here and not really get out real easily. Let's keep in mind why we put leaf guards on in the first place. It's to protect the downspout, to keep it nice and free of any clogs. That way that water that is collected by the guttering system can run it down and away from the foundation and away from the house. If this gets clogged up with all this stuff, which I know you know it does, without leaf guards, all that water can back up, cause foundation issues. It can even rot the fascia board and the end of the plywood or OSB at your roof edge, especially in the winter months. So this is why it's so important to keep your gutters clean and or protected. So on this product, not too bad. The water ran through it, down the guttering and out the downspout without any clogs. So that's great. But it does create a bit of an eyesore when it comes to this shelf mentality we got here. It's a little lower than the guttering, and it's a few inches down. And of course, you have the back here. It's kind of it doesn't allow the leaves to fall off very easily. Maybe in a big downpour or a large rain, it may wash off, but I would assume it will probably be stuck in here a little bit. And remember, there's not a true maintenance-free leaf guard that I've seen yet. There's better ones. Let's keep digging and see what we find. So our next option, as we saw earlier, is this powder-coated steel or metal gutter screen. It's going to do the same thing we saw the first one do. If you recall, was that plastic roll, wasn't very strong, pretty flimsy. And I believe in this climate with snow and ice, it would just collapse in the guttering. This is a step up and probably maybe even a notch up above the sponge. Let's see how this works. So we're gonna lock it in. The instructions say here to slide this underneath your shingles. So make sure you can lift your shingles, and we can. I see it there. I'm underneath a starter strip in the first shingle. I'm gonna pick it up. I'm gonna slide it in. You can see this front groove. It's gonna lock into the front side of the guttering. I'm gonna slide it in place. And there you go. In place. Nice even rotation from the shingle down to the guttering. We still have a nice little incline here, which is nice. If any debris was to sit here, it'd probably blow off or wash off in a nice little rainfall and getting rid of it, so it wouldn't really cause a shelf. A step above, I'd say, from that sponge we saw earlier where it kind of caused a big divot or big area of resting space for the debris. So this is an interesting way. So pretty easy, locks into the front, slides underneath the shingles here. Oops, slides underneath the shingles. We're under both courses, starter strip and the first shingle, and it's right underneath, ready to go. Let's see how it works. All right, so we threw some water on the roof. We had some fun with that. We had some leaves and sticks and twigs out of these trees that fell down to this roof. And they're collected right here in the leaf garden and kept it all out of the guttering. We saw the water run right through the screen, right into the guttering, and all the water has left the downspout, and I can still hear it running, so it's doing its job very well, which is great. So once again, consider the climate you're in. We are in the Midwest here, and let's talk about snow and ice on this roof as it freezes and collects towards this side of the house. What will it do to this screen? Well, it's pretty solid. Remember how it went underneath the roof here? So it has good support, and it's locked into the front. And if we're doing this whole guttering, we would add some of those stainless steel stitch screws in the gutter also to keep it from sliding. We can show you that trick here in a moment. But downside. So plus, pretty stable, let the water through, the water's still running, and hear it going down downspout, that's great. Cons. Well, here's what happens. Stuff like this, and it gets stuck in there. And you know, you may have some leftover stuff. It's not a big deal. You know, we're keeping my gutter clean, but we still may have the ends of the leaf get stuck in there. You may have some organic growth in the future. This little stick here is stuck. It's going to happen. That's part of this process. So that would be the downside of this metal screen. Pretty good so far. I think it would pass the snow and ice test pretty well, pretty stable, doesn't move around, lets the water through, which is great, but some small things may get stuck in the screen. So that comes back to a little bit of maintenance. You may have to wash this off, maybe use that leaf blower the wife loves, once or twice a year to keep the little things out of here. But ultimately, it is doing the job, allowing the water through, away from the home, down the downspout, and out, which is great. So far, not too bad. But if you don't like the unsightly debris, maybe being stuck on the top of the roof this time of year, this may not be the leaf guard for you. Let's see what's next. Okay, great, we're back with the next option. This is a plastic device. It is a solid gutter cover, so nothing will go through this. The water has to come around and cope, just like when you pour the milk out of your milk jug, it kind of comes back and coats around the corner. The same physical principles are true here. Water will come down, come around, and go into those slots, if you can see those right here. All the debris will just wash off. Let's install it and see how it goes. Very similar to the last one we installed. This will slide up underneath the shingles. Usually on a shingle roof like this, there's two layers. There'll be this shingle you can see and also a starter strip. So you want to make sure you can see the drip edge. And we want to slide that in all the way down, work it up in there, and slide it down in place. Wipe it off here a little bit. Just like the one previous, it locks in place right here at the back of the guttering. So we've got a nice solid mechanism there keeping it locked in place, and this is up underneath the shingle here. So once again, but this is plastic. It's just a little, not quite as rigid as aluminum or steel, but this is a big box retailer option for homeowners. Pretty easy to install. If you were to finish this whole course out, we'd overlap right here. depending which way you want to run. But if I was starting here and going to my left, I would overlap about 1 inch or 2 inches or so for each piece. I'd overlap them. Don't want to butt them because this is plastic. If you did use this and you butt those two pieces together, plastic will expand and could shrink. It could cause a gap. If you get a gap, guess what you might get? Some debris, some other trash down the side of the guttering, which could clog the downspout. And we're trying to eliminate that. So make sure you overlap each piece. When it comes to something like this, that screen, or our next one we'll use in a few moments. Let's add some water and some debris, and let's see how this works. Okay, that was fun. So just for the record, we are putting 4.5 gallons a minute onto this section of roof. We're using a power washer to do that, to give it a nice 25-degree fan pattern onto the roof. That way the water distributes evenly over across this area. So about 4.5 gallons a minute onto the roof. We're putting it pretty high up, if you saw that, and it's running down. So we're giving it a chance to naturally run down the roof. When I saw that, it's awesome because this stuff is kind of washed off, which is great. Nothing's really getting stuck anywhere. I can see maybe smaller leaves could get stuck in this edge here, which could be a problem over time. They might see it slid right through there pretty easily. That may or may not happen without me doing that, by the way. But it could happen. I did see that kind of happening naturally. You can see some stuff here getting stuck by the water pulling it through. It may not take much more water to kind of suck that down through that hole. But overall, it did keep the big stuff away. And I believe by the angle and wind and heavy rainfall, probably keep this pretty clean once it did rain, but it would still be a shelf. It's hard to get away from that from any leaf guard, period. But the one thing I did observe, I've seen this before, there's different sides of the fence here. People support this and don't support this. Is that coping mechanism, how the water attaches to this round bowl nose of this leaf guard and copes down and runs through the slot. I'm not sure about you folks, but I saw a fair amount of water piling up and missing and rolling over the edge of this, causing a nice little waterfall effect right down here in my wife's flowers, boy. And she won't like that because guess what's going to happen? It's going to wash the mulch out and a big heavy rainfall. And just to be really direct with you, we didn't put that much water on the roof and it was still missing. We can still see it right down here, the drips and so on and so forth that were pulling over the side of the guttering, causing these a little bit of a waterfall. So I'll let you decide. Let's see what's up next. Okay, last but not least is the gutter guards we utilize at Honest Abe Roofing here, America's favorite roofer, which is a 29 gauge steel painted on both sides, rust-free guarantee, fully perforated, as you can see, nice holes. You see me? Oh, looking good, always looking good. And these look great as well. They fit nicely and securely to the guttering, and we bolt these in place. I'll show you how to do that right now. So let's check it out. This back edge here will go up behind the drip edge. So here's your drip edge right here, this white aluminum piece. We're gonna slide this down, pull that out a little bit, and just that easy. Locks in behind there, slide it down in place. This will take a impact or a screw gun with your stainless steel white painted zip screw, 1/4 inch driver. You come up here, find the spot you want to put it in, put that right there. Simple as that. You can do that about every 2 feet as you run down your guttering, locking that in place. And remember, keep in mind, the next piece, you want to overlap about 1 inch or 1.25 inches or so. Plenty of overlap, screw it in place, and continue that process. Lift that drip edge up, slide it in, put in place. As you can see, right below that leaf guard are your gutter straps. This gives it all that nice solid support so it will never get pushed down to the guttering from snow or ice. Nice and rigid, there for a lifetime, keeping your gutters maintenance free. Let's see how they work. All right, so we saw the water, it rained, we shook some trees, the leaves fell, and the leaves are still here, which is okay, but here's the main thing. The leaves are still here. The water ran through, right through the perforations. I can still hear the water running currently, which is a great sign. the downspouts are clean, the water's running away, there's no damage to the roof. So, and I saw no cascading water, no waterfall effect. All the water that ran off the roof ran into the gutter to the perforation. Wonderful. Okay, so pros, water flows well, downspouts free, no damage to the roof. Cons, well, check it out. Now, as you know, we're using a power washer, 4.5 gallons a minute of water, a little higher up, water cascaded down, ran right through it. We weren't trying to blow the gutters off by cheating, by stopping, getting rid of the mess. The water goes right through it, no problem. But the con would be, if it wasn't a heavy rain and a lot of wind, this stuff would probably still be sitting here. So from the ground, this could be considered an eyesore. Once again, I don't personally believe as a professional roofer, there's a maintenance-free solution to gutter guards. The gutters will always work with these. The water is flowing, no clogs, which is what we're trying to accomplish. But you may have to once or twice a year, take your hands, a leaf blower, and blow them off. Now, you don't need to get a ladder out for this. You can use a leaf blower with an extension attachment, and walk along the guttering from the ground, nice and safe, and blow that right off. Many manufacturers of leaf blowers make that extension. But look at that, still nice and clean, nothing stuck in the holes, very nice. So there you have it, 6 different options to choose from. You can do it yourself, or you can call a pro to do it for you. We'll be more than happy to help you if you're not able to do this. We can come out, install our gutter guards of your choice, or the ones that we make in-house for your home. Never worry about cleaning your gutters again. Call Honest Abe Roofing, America's favorite roofer. Ask for Kevin, and I'll come out, install your permanent gutter solutions for you at your home. 844-4ABE now. Call America's favorite roofer.